This is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So if you are new here, welcome. And if you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. But please just call me Ash or Ashley, and eyeshadow is my jam. It is one of my favorite, I can't get it out. It is one of my most favorite things to talk about here on my channel. And I love Pat McGrath. Yes, Pat McGrath is my favorite brand, hands down for sure. So I do these little watch before you buy series when Pat McGrath comes out with collections, because anytime Pat McGrath comes out with a collection, we're like, ooh, what is it? You know, and it's just so much opulence and so much beauty, and we're distracted by beautiful, shiny things. And sometimes some things are re-promoted, and we need to know that. So this is so you can be an informed customer. Like I just mentioned, Pat McGrath is my favorite brand, okay? So when I do these videos, it's not to bash the brand, but it's just to say, maybe express how I feel about the collection, give you some insight, let you know it's promoted. If you love it, great. I love it for you. Go ahead and pick it up, especially with certain things that are re-promoted. I think some people kind of confused that when they saw my Lunar New Year video. Like, yes, we were like disappointed. We weren't really happy with the Star Wars collection. And of course, like I said, I want you to know what is re-promoted, because a lot of people come on my comments and actually say, hey, you saved me some money, because I did not realize that I already had that in my collection. And that's what I want you to know. And it's just to have fun and talk about the products. So we are here with the Love collection. You know, she sneaked a couple things. And of course, we had a feeling it was going to be Valentine's. And I like that. You know, Mama Pat, I think this is only maybe her third Valentine's Day release. Like, she doesn't usually do things about Valentine's Day. Now, before she had Eternal Eden, I got that quad. I do not like that quad, okay? It's like my least ranked quads. I don't like it, but I actually use it. And I used it a lot as a face palette prior to her giving us blushes. And then I feel like she's done maybe a lipstick or something here in between, but she doesn't usually do a full-on collection for Valentine's Day. So we have the Love collection. So I am reading from the Pat McGrath website. I also have my girl over at Makeup Release Radar, Jamie, who helped me out with a couple things, and of course all the other websites, they'll be linked down below. So like I said, this is for informative. This is not for me to bash the brand, but hey, to let you know, don't buy that again, because you probably already have it, especially if you're a big Pat McGrath fan. And like I said, sometimes we're just really distracted by shiny, sparkly things. I mean, let me just scoot over so I can insert some pictures here. Okay, so first up, like I just mentioned, I am reading from her actual website, the patmcgrath.com website, and she has all the collection details up. So she was kind of hinting at the Love collection, putting a few little lovey-dovey, you know, hearts and things on her Instagram page, as she usually does. It says something is coming, inspiration, and we love keeping up to figure out what are you going to give us, Mama Pat. And honestly, when I look at this collection, I'm not upset. Like, yes, is it nude? Is it neutral? Yes. Does it fit the theme of Valentine's? Yes. But it doesn't feel gimmicky. It feels like something I can use across the whole year. I like the packaging. I like the products. We have some new products. We have a few re-promoted products. And it feels like her. Like, yes, Divine Rose has had her in a chokehold and those type of color schemes ever since we have come out with that palette. Divine Rose won in like 2019. But I'm here for it. I'm here for this collection, okay? So let's go ahead and jump in. So first, I'm going to start off. She is giving us 3 little Mothership palettes. So these are typically the Mothership palettes without any vowels, that spell like just MTHRSHP, you know, no vowels in there. And they all pretty much have the same packaging. Maybe it might be a couple little hints of something different on the packaging. And it's in her typical style of 6-pan packaging that I like, you know. It doesn't have the little loop with the cardboard or those fancy envelope openings where it kind of opens on both sides. It just opens as one. And I can appreciate that. Even though I do like how the things open with the little, you know, I'll pull one out because I'm like, why? Let me just pull one out. So the packaging is like this one. This is actually the what is this? Rose Decadence. Mothership, oh Lord Jesus, fix it. Come on now, don't come on here, start breaking stuff. So is this actually this format where it just opens right here, which is the newer format for the 6-pan palettes. And I really like this format for the 6-pan palettes. I just like how she does her 6-pan palettes. But I do really like this one, but it can be hard to use because I was doing my friend's makeup earlier and I was sending one out and I was like, okay, it keeps closing. Versus this is the older package with the little, you know, wire. So, and then kind of how the motherships are, and they open up on both sides. So I feel like this is really innovative, but a lot of people did complain. I get it. Practicality, yes, that one works so much better. So the packaging is in that style format, and like I said, there are 3 palettes and they retail for $65 each. So I'm happy about that. That is the normal price. They're $65. I think at one point when the first 3 did launch, these were like $55 maybe, so they have gone up $10, but that price increase happened about 3-4 years ago at this point. So like I said, we have 3. So we have Iconic Infatuation, we have Sublime Seduction, and then we also have Velvet Liaison. So I'm going to take them in order. I'm going to go back to Iconic Infatuation. So once again, we have 6 shades right here. I mean, it's giving mauve, it's giving rose tone. You're kind of getting like a little bit more cool tone with this palette. And it's like it's cool taupes, mauves, champagnes. Okay, now I looked at basically all the shades in the palettes, and in this particular palette I did not find any dupe shades. Yes, we have dupes across the collection, things that might look alike, but I actually did not find any repeat shades because all the shades are listed on the website, and I do appreciate that she does that because you can kind of know what you're getting and what to expect. Now the next palette we have up is Sublime Seduction. So I like the Sublime Seduction palette. It's a little bit warmer and it's cool tone at the same time. This palette, like the other one, the Iconic, I think it was Iconic Illumination. It's, child, these names, I'm like, everything sounded like, how does she even, can she keep it straight? I mean, I know that these are her babies, but let's just ask the question. Can Pat McGrath keep her own shade name straight? Because it's a lot. Like, and I know my Pat McGrath, and Kiki Sweat knows her Pat McGrath, and sometimes it trips her up. So I'm just like, wow, okay. So we're going to jump back to Sublime Seduction. And like I said, that one, you have like 2 to 3. You actually have like 2 shimmer shades and more like a pearlized shade, like that shade that we usually have at the beginning of a Mothership, like an actual big Mothership palette. So I do actually kind of like that. You have the Peach Perversion, no, the Peach Persuasion, because I think we had another shade, Peach Perversion. But the Peach Persuasion is actually really calling me in. The Bronze Fantasy, Honey Luster, Burning Desire. Now, Burning Desire, I did figure out that because I was like, that name sounds familiar. I did realize that that was a repeat shade, okay? And that was actually a repeat shade that was an idol. If you don't remember the idols were actually the single shades that she had, that she put out. And a lot of those were actually kind of repeat shades. And then sometimes we would see the idols just like pop up and other shades that were not repeat shades. So it seems to me that that one is a repeat shade. So, you know, you get 2 shimmers plus like more pearlized shade. So that one is kind of calling my name. But I'm going to tell you the one that's really calling my name. So the palette that's really calling my name is Velvet Liaison, okay? It is all matte. How many times have we like, oh, we wish we could have an all matte palette? Now, I've always wished we could have an all matte palette, but in my mind, I was like, I never wanted to be a large 10-pan Mothership. Like, it would have to be like the best of both worlds, or... But this right here is perfect. It's cool. You got a little plum. You have like nice warm browns. You kind of have like, you just have something for everybody. And you know, I'm more about the shimmer. I got the shimmer on right now with my Terra Moons. But certain mattes, I'm just like, yes. Like, okay. Viseart mattes, yes. Pat McGrath mattes, yes. Blends Bunnies mattes. Yes, I have on Blends Bunnies now. Natasha Denona mattes. Yes. Who else? Oh, Tammy Tanuka, Seagull Inspired. Yes, those are some great mattes. And I might be leaving out a brand or two, but those are the mattes that I'm like, yes, okay. So I definitely want this palette because I want to get it. I don't even want to wait till it maybe goes on sale. So for me, I want to get this palette right away, and then maybe I will get the what's the other one called, Sublime Seduction, a little bit later. But definitely, I'm definitely getting that matte palette, hands down. Now, so we have those 3 palettes, and then we also have a new product. We have liquid shadows, yes. So she is giving us quite a few liquid shadows, and they are $29. Now, I failed to mention the collection is actually going to release, looks like maybe in 2 parts, or when I was looking at it earlier. So January 27th, okay? So just kind of get your coins together. January 27th, and also, she is giving us FetishEYES Long Wear Liquid Eyeshadow. And it looks like she's giving us quite a few shades. So if I can see this right, let's see. She has shades like Divine Champagne. And then none of these actually look like, you know, they kind of look like things that we have seen before, but none of them seem to be like dupes, or maybe the Platinum Bronze shade is for sure. Lunar Rose, Bronze Bijou, Platinum Bronze, Smoldering Seduction, Twilight Platinum, Cosmic Chartreuse, okay? So these retail for $29 each. Whisper Sweet Nothings with all eyes on you wearing liquid shimmer shadow, okay? So it's supposed to be, of course, a shimmer shadow, liquid. It's supposed to have a creamy texture. Ultra blendable. It's supposed to be crease proof, smudge resistant, 10 hours plus wear. And you're getting 6.1 mLs or 0.2 ounces, okay? And basically, you know, she has a whole synopsis on her website about all of it. So I'm not even going to get into that. So I am actually interested in 1, maybe 2 of the shades. And the shades that I'm interested in is the Twilight Platinum and possibly the Cosmic Chartreuse, because I feel like that's really pretty. But then I do have like a shade similar to that by Natasha Denona, and then we do have like the chartreuse shades from Pat McGrath herself, like, you know, what oh Lord, what is our shade? Gigabyte and Mothership 3. Then we have one like kind of very similar to Gigabyte in the Bridgerton palette, with the second one, which is the Belle of the Ball. So I don't want to get too many dupes, but I think I'm really interested in the platinum one. And I do kind of want to try one out, okay? Now, of course, she is also releasing some lipsticks. So, of course, if you have been a Pat McGrath fan, you know that she's going to give us some beautiful lipsticks. She's going to give us some nude options. And usually she gives us 2 to 3. So we're getting 3 lipsticks with the special packaging in this collection. And the packaging is just really on the outside. But then on the actual component, it's going to be like the little bow that we kind of started seeing that. Well, we started seeing that with some of the Christmas collections back in the day, and the Bridgerton, of course. So we have 3 shades, and this actually says these arrive on 2/27, so a whole month later. Now, I kind of like when Pat McGrath like splits up the launches, because, you know, sometimes she comes out with a launch and I'm like, yes, 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 give it to me all. But then the launch is broken up, so I get what's available then. Maybe the second part rolls around and I don't pick up anything else, and I'm okay. You know what I mean? And it's better. It's like you get a chance to sit there and marinate. Do I want that? You know, did I even like what I picked up the first time? You get all of these thoughts in versus just buying everything at once, you know? So you get 3 shades, but the one lipstick I am actually interested in is going to be In the Flesh, which is a warm rosewood color. So this is supposed to be a SatinAllure formula. So as far as the SatinAllure formula, I think that is a new formula actually to Pat McGrath. And we're getting 3 shades. Of course, we're getting a little Nude Venus, and they retail for $30. If you've been around, you love any type of Pat McGrath, you've looked at the lipsticks, you know Nude Venus is a shade that she is going to give y'all, okay? It is Repromoted, so check your collection. If you have minis, I have a lot of mini lipsticks by Pat McGrath that she released, which I think, by the way, is an excellent value, because it takes a lot to go through a lipstick. And now me wearing lipstick is whittled down to like barely anything because I still wear a mask to work because y'all know I'm a pharmacist and people really be coming in there with COVID and coughing and they mask on their chin. And I just be like, ain't that how you got it? I digress. Okay, so I still wear a mask at work, okay? But you have these 3 satin shades. You have the New Venus, and then you also have In the Flesh, which is like, ooh, it's looking good. And then you also have Crimson Ecstasy. I think Crimson Ecstasy is really pretty. Only thing about that, colors like that are like satin that can tend to like slip around, move around, that's not really my jam because it tends to get messy. And when you want to wear a red, it needs to be sharp. Like it needs to just stay in place. It doesn't need to move. You know what I mean? So that can, to me, can just be a little tricky. It's supposed to have a satin shine finish, medium buildable coverage, comfortable weightless creamy texture, cool and warm shades, which I do agree, flatters all skin tones, which I think that she usually does an excellent job when she picks like 2 to 3 to flatter skin complexions, hydrates and conditions, which I think is nice. It's going to be 3.7 grams of product or 0.13 ounces. And it says speak volumes without whispering a scandalous word when you veil your lips in weightless, silky smooth color. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot. Not reading the rest. And if I didn't mention it, it does retail for $30. So I think I will pick up that one shade, and that releases like a whole month later. I actually do still have my eye kind of on Rouge 8, the limited edition Lunar New Year lipstick. So I might get that and then maybe that together if it's still hanging around, you know? All right, of course, Mama is giving us some blushes also to go along with this collection. We're getting 2 blushes. Now, this, be careful, because this is where the photography can get you. Because I was sitting here, I was like, oh, this blush looks nice and warm and corally, kind of orangey. And I love an orange, corally type of blush. And then I was like, that's Desert Orchid, okay? So she is re-promoting Desert Orchid, okay? So if you already have it in your collection from the first time the blushes came out, or when she did a duo or anything else, or maybe even just like the little blush, you know, 3-pan products, which I actually thought was a really great value for your money, just know you already have it, okay? So she's giving us Desert Orchid. It's going to retail for $39. And then it looks like she's also going to give us another color, which is Flirtatious. And that is a very soft pink beige, very much for people who are very fair. I also feel like that Desert Orchid, I've never purchased it because I never felt like it was going to work on my complexion. And I have the Paradise Venus, which is like the opposite end of that spectrum. But I wish she would kind of give us something more orange in that category. But she did give us a coral color in this thing right here, the Blushing Delight. So then she's also going to give us some of her LiquiLust, which is her liquid lipsticks. And she's coming again with the New Venus, and then also New Cabaret. New Cabaret is also a re-promoted item as well. Now that formula of those liquid lipsticks are wonderful. I do have like Elson 4, I want to believe, which is a red shade. And that formula, I like it very much. And then she's also coming back with the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfecting Blurry Under Eye Powder, which is the translucent one. That's the color she's giving us, which is light, basically her white translucent powder. That's going to be $32 with their extra promoted packaging, really just the outside packaging, because the component is just going to be this. And this powder is magical, magnificent, but I hate this packaging. I hate this component. You just have to be very careful with it. It will break on you. I've had one break on me inside my drawer. Never took it anywhere and it broke. And I've also had one break on me. It fell across the floor when I was out of town. But I feel like this packaging is not great at all. I'm not sure why she keeps like putting out this translucent powder. I don't know. But the powder is bomb, okay? I have it here. I have dry skin. Like, that's the only thing I ever use to set my face. I'll use it for my concealer, and sometimes depending on the foundation, if I feel like it needs a little setting, like here or in here, I'll use it there. it works wonders. It's a beautiful, beautiful powder. But I don't know why she keeps adding it onto all these collections. It feels a bit weird. And of course, it's the light one because you kind of got to have it geared to every skin complexion. So there's that. So overall, I like the collection. I definitely have my eyes on, you know, one of the palettes, which is the, I can't even remember the name now. Do I remember? Oh Lord, I'm just gonna scroll back up. Velvet Liaison. I definitely have my eyes on that. And I also have my eyes on the Sublime Seduction and then one of the liquid shadows, which I hear a lot of people are actually like really happy for. So this is what I like because we're getting something new. We never had the liquid shadows before. We are getting a few Repromoted products as far as the blushes and the lipstick, but we do have like 1 to 2 new lipstick shades. Of course, like the palettes, we have things. If you have, you know, Mothership 10, if you have Divine Rose and Divine Rose 2 and Rose Decadence and anything in her line and the quads and all the Christmas stuff, of course you're going to have some things that dupe the vibes, but I like it. It doesn't feel gimmicky like a lot of Valentine's Day palettes do. I don't typically buy Valentine's Day palettes, and I was going to do a video like on why I wasn't buying Valentine's palettes because I have all these plum and purple and pink, but I guess I won't do that video because I'm buying this collection. So it feels nice, you know what I mean? So hopefully still we'll continue to get more color from Pat McGrath. I mean, a lot of people didn't really care for the Mothership Mega that came out this year, but I've had a lot of fun with I think the shimmers were not as great. I feel like the middle section was the most solid of that palette, but all the other mattes in that palette were glorious. So I don't know, I like that. But that's what I think I'm going to pick up from the collection. I'm going to pick up those 4 items whenever the lipstick releases, and then the liquid shadow, and definitely, like I said, my all matte palette, and have some fun because I love using my all matte palettes and pop it on a Terra Moons or my Glam Shop, or you know, all the multi-chromes. Love them so. Or I could just mix and match with all the stuff I have from Pat McGrath herself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you plan on picking up anything from Miss Mother, Miss Patricia, Miss Patty. Okay, down below in the comments, give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon. And subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. With all of that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chat dance. Hey, 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 chat dance. Cherries. Hey, hey, cherries. Hey, cherries. All right, y'all. I'm done. Bye.